Good morning or early afternoon for those of you on the East Coast. Thank you for joining us today for Streamlining Patient Communications. I'm going to go ahead and get started now. My name is Shayna Beasley, and I'm the director here at TotalMD. I've been with the company for about a year and a half, so I do recognize some names there, people I've had a chance to speak with, and a few new names as well. So if we haven't had a chance to speak yet, welcome and thank you for joining us. I do want to mention that like many people right now, I am working from home. So you may hear some bird noises in the background. My tiny parrotlet is a little bit vocal sometimes, so I'm just going to apologize in advance in case you do hear that. Sometimes he gets a little excited when I'm talking. So today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of communication for practices, and then we're going to specifically talk about the TotalMD Communicator solution and how that can help you and your team save time and increase your revenue. I anticipate this will be a fairly short webinar. Depending on questions, we should be done in 30 minutes or less. If you have questions, go ahead and chat those to me. I'll do my best to answer them. If I do not get an opportunity to answer your question, we'll follow up with you after the webinar. All right. So this has been a year filled with challenges and lots of changes, and staying in touch with your patients is more important than ever. We're also in the midst of a pandemic, which has changed a lot of people's expectations regarding what can and should be done online, right? Everything can be done online these days, and more that is the expectation that people have. People want convenience. They want to take care of things on their own time, and oftentimes that means during off hours. They want to deal with businesses and providers who understand that and who cater to them. I am definitely one of those people who is always looking for convenient solutions and businesses that are going to cater to me. I know I'm not alone with that. People are busy, they're stressed, and they have lots of obligations, and they want to take care of their errands and their to-do lists on their own schedule. They don't want to have to call your office during business hours because for a lot of them, that's when they are at work too. So our society values being busy for good or bad. And as a provider or any business, if you can help relieve some of that stress and make things easier for folks, they will appreciate that and they are going to reward you with their business and they will tell their friends about how awesome you are. I think we all have those examples of businesses that really make it easy and convenient for you and you just love them. For me, that is the Salad and Go drive-through here in the Phoenix area. They are super convenient and fast and save me from having to make dinner, so I go there all the time. All right, so everybody's busy, and certainly that includes you and your staff, right? So your time is valuable. You know that, whether you're an office manager or a provider, chances are that you're super busy and you're wearing many hats. The same is probably true for your front desk staff. These days, there's an expectation that you have a social media presence, that you're doing online reviews, you're managing marketing campaigns, sending out promotional emails, and that doesn't even cover your staff's day job, right? Which is making appointments, collecting payments, rescheduling, confirming patient appointments, and handling insurance, which can be a job in and of itself. So all of those things that the front office has to do, it's a lot. And we're asking so much from them these days, and it's really hard to do that job without the proper tools. So that brings us to TotalMD Communicator, which is going to help generate value for your patients and your front desk staff every step of the way. With Communicator, you're going to get 24/7 real-time online scheduling, which is huge these days. Patients are going to be able to go online and book their appointment any time of day, which is going to save your staff time because they won't have to book all of those appointments. And the system is also going to help you reduce no-shows and cancellations for your practice through the automated reminder system. And it's going to decrease costs for you because your office is going to be more efficient. They'll have fewer phone calls coming in to confirm appointments. You can also leverage automated promotional campaigns and referral programs so your patients can refer friends really easily. I'm going to dive into some of the features and what makes Communicator different from a lot of solutions. It is a two-way texting platform, so you'll be able to have a two-way conversation just like you were texting from your cell phone. It also offers automated message settings that allow you to totally customize it to your practice and how you want to communicate with your patients. You'll see in a few minutes that you're going to be able to sequence events and how you want to remind your patients about their appointments and give them those opportunities to confirm. So whether you want to do emails or text messages or even voice, you have the option to choose what that looks like. The online scheduler, super customizable. It gives your practice full control over how your patients can book online. So, for example, you can limit the type of appointments that they're allowed to book online. If you want to only accept new patient appointments online, for example, you can do that. If there's certain providers that don't want to accept online appointments, you can exclude them as an option as well. So you really can choose all of those different things, which hours or which days they can book online appointments. It's all totally in your control. TotalMD Communicator also offers tons of customizable email templates for promotions of all kinds, very customizable. The templates look very nice and clean and professional, and then you can really make them your own. I also want to mention the intuitive user interface, which you'll see here in a moment. It makes it really easy to navigate the program, and it does feel similar to TotalMD in the sense that you'll see the different modules at the top, and then on the left-hand side are different options as well. So really easy to navigate and use. Lastly, I want to mention the system solicits online reviews while filtering out negative reviewers, so really helping with your reputation management. You can either send the patient to a review site or a survey, depending on how they rate their experience that day. So if they give you a great score for that day, you can send them straight to those platforms to write a review. If they didn't give you a great score for that day, instead you can send them a survey where they can go into further detail about why they gave you a poor rating on that short internal survey, and then you can take action on that and deal with them directly rather than having them go online and write a bad review and you finding out about it after the fact. I want to talk a little bit more about appointment reminders specifically, since this is one of the big reasons people choose Communicator. One of the best things about the solution, it is going to allow you to set it and forget it. I know everybody loves to say that, but it's really true for automated confirmations and appointment reminders. You'll customize it the way that you want, and then you're done, unless you decide down the road that you want to change something or tweak something. Otherwise, it's done, and it's just going to do the work for you. So very customizable, like I mentioned, and I'll show you that in just a moment. It does also have live data sync. So it's not syncing once an hour with TotalMD, it's syncing all of the time. It's constantly updating with the practice management data from the system. So if an appointment gets moved or canceled, you don't have to worry about the system sending another reminder to that patient because it didn't know that the appointment was canceled. It's syncing every few seconds. So it's going to be up to date in real time. You can send automated day of appointment reminders, which is really great because the patient's going to get that final notice a couple hours before their appointment. You can customize how far in advance they get that reminder. So if that's an hour and a half before their appointment or 2 hours or whatever you'd like to do there. And sending those day of reminders has been proven to reduce no-shows by up to 70%, which is huge for your revenue and all of that. So definitely something you want to incorporate. So it is an all-in-one confirmation system, so patients can confirm appointments instantly with just one click, or a fast response over text, just a Y, to say that they are going to confirm that appointment. They can add the appointment to their calendar through their cell phone or their desktop super easily. So it just all works really seamlessly for them and makes it easy for them to remember when their appointment is. If the patient for some reason can't make that appointment time, they can do two-way texting as well. So they can respond to that and say, you know, hey, I actually can't make that appointment. I'm wondering if you have anything next week. And they can navigate all of that over text message without having to call you because there is a two-way texting option. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the program. So just one moment here. All right, so this is my test account, Beasley Pediatrics. That's my fake practice here. So this is totally web-based and works seamlessly with TotalMD. Like I mentioned, they're constantly syncing and talking back and forth. Because it is web-based, you can access it from anywhere, anytime. You can just go to the website or you can access it from within TotalMD. There's an icon there which will launch the program. So this is an example of the automated communication plans that we were talking about. And you can see it's just a really nice visual. So we have 2 weeks before, they're going to get an early reminder. We have 5 days before with the confirmation, 3 days before, and then that same day appointment reminder that we talked about. So if you go ahead and click into one of these, you can see how easy it is to customize this. You can reset the days. So if you want to say, oh, we want to send that first confirmation 9 days out and we want it to be at 1:00 p.m., you can do that. You can see over here on the emails, this is just an example of a confirmation template. So you can see what I mean with all of the templates that are available. It looks very nice and professional, but of course you can go in here and edit all of this text as well. Same with the text messages. You have the ability to change what it's saying here in the text message. And then voice, which is really nice, that's included with this as well. So it will call out and ask them, press 1 to confirm, just an automated voice message there. And you can change what it's going to say. You can actually even change the language. So if you are working in another country, or if you have a lot of Spanish speakers, you actually have the ability to use different languages here. And then there's a few different voice options as well. So if you want it to be, a male voice versus, maybe Kathy's voice, you can do that here as well. So super easy to build out that communication plan and automate all of that for you here. I also just want to point out that if you do recall in your office, this is very common with dental and some other specialties, you can set up an automated recall campaign, which is very similar interface to what I just showed you. And then there's also family messaging if you want to incorporate that. The other thing I wanted to show you real quickly is the online scheduler, which is huge, just to give you an idea of how this works and the settings that you'll see. So tons of customization that you'll see here, how far out people are able to book appointments, all of those sorts of settings. And then once we get over here to the link and embed, you can see you have a URL here that you can send to patients. So you could include that in an email to them. You could even text that to them if you wanted to. And then there's some embed code for your website and a button where they're going to be able to click on that to get to the scheduler. And within that, you have the ability to customize what you want that button to look like. So tons of options for customizing this and making it your own and really making sure that you're on brand. The last thing I wanted to show you, this is a test account that's fairly new for me, so not a ton of data here, but just to give you an idea of what you'll see when you come in. This is the home screen, so any new alerts will show up here, patient confirmations, new appointments that have come in. You're going to see all of that right here. You can see the schedule there, so just really nice overview. If you do see here, yesterday I was texting myself back and forth, and here's the reply that I sent. If I go ahead and click on that, what it's going to do is actually pull up our entire message history. So if I click on that here, you can see the back and forth, and then I can actually send myself another message if I wanted to do that, just like you would texting someone. So that's going to come straight to my phone. I can reply to that from my phone and we can have a full conversation. So really handy. Anyone who logs in can see this and reply. It doesn't have to be relegated to a single staff member. So I'm going to jump back over here. And I just want to say, texting is a must-have. I just showed you how easy it is to do there. It's something that every practice really should be doing at this point. That's something that patients are expecting. And if you aren't quite ready to invest in, a robust marketing solution like Communicator, I would ask you to at least consider incorporating texting into your patient communications. And you can do that with our basic text messaging if you aren't familiar with that. That starts at $29 a month, so super affordable. It's based on the number of texts you send. So something I would encourage everyone to consider, whether you decide that Communicator is something you want to use in your practice or not. I would ask you to really think about texting, because according to a recent report by International smartphone mobility, Americans spend 26 minutes a day texting versus only 6 minutes per day talking on the phone. I'm not sure if that surprises you. It does not surprise me because I am definitely a texter. I was laughing about this the other day. Oftentimes, if I am going to talk to somebody on the phone, a friend or family member, I will text them and tell them I'm going to call them so that they can plan for it accordingly. It's second nature to me. I don't like surprise phone calls, but I'll text somebody and that's just a lot more convenient. And that's how a lot of people feel these days. And they would just prefer to send off a text and get a response anytime. You don't have to be available right at that moment in order to be able to text someone back and forth, which, as we mentioned, a lot of people don't want to have to call the office during office hours or spend time during their lunch break to do that. Let's see. As I mentioned, anyone can log in on Communicator, just jumping back to Communicator specifically, and handle the text messaging over there so that it's not relegated to a single staff member. You can do it from home. It's just very convenient that it's web-based and right there in the interface. So next, let's look at the numbers, just to give you an idea of how important it is to utilize a solution like Communicator in your practice. 85% of patients want to receive digital communications from their providers. That is a huge percentage. So if you aren't communicating with your patients online and through text messaging, you're definitely missing out because that's what they're looking for and expecting. 81% of people said they would schedule their own appointments through a secure web service if they had the ability to do so. So not only does online scheduling help free up your staff's time, it's also what patients want to do. So with the solution, we're seeing an average of 38% of appointments are being made online once this is integrated into a practice. So people will definitely take advantage of it. And that's something that you can help encourage and announce on your website, make it super easy. And if you would like tips on how to encourage and kind of retrain people on booking appointments that way, you can reach out to us, reach out to me personally. I definitely have some thoughts on how to help with that. Because if you make it easy and convenient and people know about it, they will do it and they want to do it. So that's going to save your staff time again without having to go back and forth with patients trying to book appointments online. So this last stat I find fascinating. 34% of patients are willing to switch providers if offered an ideal experience elsewhere. So that's not just in regards to communication, that's overall, but that's a huge deal. That means if you aren't going to meet a patient's expectations from start to finish, they're going to look for another practice that will. So the more you can do to cater to the patient's needs and expectations, the more revenue you're going to see, not just from that patient, but from the referrals you'll see from happy patients. Giving them what they want, when they want, making it easy for them. It's better for them, it's better for you. It really is a win-win and will free up everybody's time and make it much less stressful and more seamless experience. So we understand a lot of practices right now are really looking at expenses and being mindful of costs. This solution really does pay for itself with the time savings you're going to get and the decrease in cancellations and no-shows that you're going to see. So a lot of systems like this can run, upwards of $300 a month. Communicator is $160 a month per location, which can sound like a decent size investment for a lot of smaller practices. So I just want to frame this for you. Let's say someone at your front desk makes $15 an hour. If this saves them 30 minutes a day over the course of a typical month, you're going to pretty much cover your costs, and then you're going to see all of these benefits that we've talked about as well, as far as reducing no-shows and cancellations, increasing referrals, improving efficiency in the office. And I would say 30 minutes a day is a low estimate. A lot of front desk staff spend several hours a day confirming and scheduling appointments. So if you think about that, you're going to be saving a ton of money by implementing a solution like this. So right now for new signups, we are offering 30 days free of TotalMD Communicator and then half off the setup fees. So if you'd like to learn more about that or sign up, you can give us a call or send us an email. It's really simple to get started. You'll get trained on the system. We'll help you get set up. The offer I just mentioned is only good for July. So I would encourage you to contact us today if this is something you're interested in. You're going to save almost $100 just on the setup that we're offering today. So I am going to open this up to questions. Let me see if we have any. Okay, so how is this texting different from the other texting solution I mentioned? So we do have our own, what we refer to as our basic texting package, and that is also for appointment reminders. I would say the big difference is with our basic texting, you can do 2 reminders. So you can set, the cadence of when those go out, and you can customize them. People reply, it's 2-way texting, but it's only 2 messages. With this system, as I showed you, it's not just text messaging. You can also incorporate the emails and the voice. So having that multi-channel communication ensures that you are able to get a hold of people and you're giving them multiple different options, which is just going to make it more likely that they are going to reply to you and remember those appointments. And then on top of that, obviously, this is much more than just a texting solution. A lot of people choose this simply for the online scheduling, which is huge for a lot of practices to be able to offer that. So, if you want to see if texting is right for you, I would encourage you to at least try the basic texting. As I mentioned, you can do that for as low as $29 a month, very low investment. You are going to see the results from that. Your staff will be happy. They're not having to make as many reminder calls and all of that. But if you are ready to get started with something that's a little bit more robust as a marketing solution, multi-channel communication, then I would say Communicator is right for you. And right now, like I said, we are offering half off the setup fees this month and 1 month free. So yeah, all right. Let's see. Great. Well, I think that's all for now. If I didn't answer your question or if you do have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to us at the phone number here on the screen or send us an email, sales@totalmd.com, and we'll be happy to get back to you and answer any questions that you have. Somebody just asked about the recording. Yes, we are recording this and we will be sending it out. So I'm hoping to send it out by tomorrow. You're welcome. And yeah, if you have any other questions or need any assistance, please let us know. Definitely appreciate your time today and hope that you found this useful. Thank you. Have a good day.